I get it. I totally get it. It's just you. Something big happens only so often, right? And then what really happens is you got a lot of little things, a lot of little accomplishments, a lot of pieces to the puzzle, and you're saying to yourself, well, it's not really that big of a deal. So what do? You don't flipping celebrate. You know, I had the luxury of being able to go to graduation today. And what was so fascinating was to watch all of these kids who have worked hard and done so many things, and they went and they were celebrating. And it reminded me, it's like, you know, even though they're thinking of their masters and their doctorates and what they'll do in life, it's like, you know what I realized? We absolutely, totally fail to celebrate the little things that we accomplish. It's like, you know, the reality is, it's like, if you can't be excited about the little things, how the hell can you be excited about the big things? Like, we owe it to ourselves to celebrate, no matter what it is. Like, we owe it to ourselves to take these little accomplishments, these little things that we conquer, and we owe it to ourselves to celebrate. You know why? Because it's like, if we're not going to celebrate for our victories, for our own victories, like, no one else is going to celebrate for us. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, we get caught up because we're thinking to ourselves, well, it's really not that big of a deal. Well, it may not be a big of a deal because you're comparing it to someone else, and you're looking at the size of their accomplishment, and you're looking at the size of your accomplishment, and you're like, well, theirs is here and mine is here. I don't want to celebrate this because I really want that. But here's the reality. It's a lot of these, it's a lot of little ones that make up the big one. That's the thing. Like, it's a lot of little pieces of the puzzle that make up the big one. So it's like, as you're thinking about each and every day, let me ask you this. What can you celebrate today? Have you celebrated? Is there anything that you've accomplished that you gave yourself, like, literally, like, your own pat on the back, your own high five, your own booty bump? Like, is something that you did to yourself, for or did or by or with yourself, that you said, you know what, I did this and I'm pretty proud of it? It's like, you know what? Don't worry about the big thing that you're looking to accomplish. Focus on the little things first. Because I am not only after you living your best life in the distance, that's when you get to the big thing, but I'm really interested in you living your best life now. And it's like, all these little pieces of the puzzle, they play such a huge role in the now. And the now and the excitement that we allow ourselves to feel and to be engaged in and to run into, that's what gives us the momentum. That's what gives us the willingness. That's what gives us the stamina to keep fighting the good fight. You know, each and every day I take a moment to celebrate my wins. And sometimes it's hard because sometimes I'm like, I didn't accomplish what I was set out to do. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'm like, I really wanted to do X and I didn't really do it. But you know, I learned a long time ago that I had to be my own biggest and best fan. And I had to be my own biggest and best cheerleader. And yes, and yeah, absolutely. Even now, today, I have great cheerleaders in my backyard. I have great cheerleaders in my corner. But the truth is that no cheerleader on the team is as powerful and as committed and as strong and as in the game as I am. Like, you are the biggest and best cheerleader for you. And I have to emphasize that, because every day that you wake up, every day that you run out into the field, every day that you get dressed and brush your teeth and put on clothes, and whether you sit at a desk or you have to go into a card work, like, every single day you're fighting a fight. Like, I don't care if you pull your hair back, you know what I mean? Or you put on war paint, or you roll up your sleeves. Like, literally every single, look, I messed up my hair. So every single morning when you get up and you run out into the world, you are fighting the fight. And you know what you're fighting for? You're fighting for your dreams. Period. If you get up and you leave your bed, you're fighting for something to happen. Let me make that clear for you. If you wake up in the morning and you get out of bed and you get in a car, you go to a computer, I don't care what it is, you are fighting for something to happen. And when I say you're fighting for something to happen, let me make this clear. Like, you're fighting for something to happen. Now I have to put up my hair. You're fighting for something to happen that is either an idea or a dream or a momentum or a theory or something you've seen or you've wanted for either a short period of time or a long period of time. Like, I really don't care, but you're fighting for something. And as you're fighting, things will get tough. And as you're fighting, you will feel weak. And as you're fighting, you'll feel like you're not enough. As you're fighting, you'll say to yourself, oh my gosh, I don't even know if I have the strength to continue. And as you're fighting, you're going to go, this is too damn hard. And as you're fighting, you're going to feel emotionally drained at times. And as you're fighting, you're going to look at other people and you're going to feel like you don't par up. And as you're fighting, you're going to feel like you're out of resources, out of time, out of momentum. Here's like where you've got to get clear on it. Like, you and I have got to see eye to eye on this thing. As you're fighting the good fight each and every day, while you're weary, while you're tired, while you're not feeling so good, while you're saying to yourself, I just don't know if I can do it, While you're fighting the good fight, you know what you've got to do? You absolutely owe it to yourself to cheer yourself on. Yeah, be your own biggest fan. I got to my first 6 figures because I became committed to being my own biggest fan, because so many people were my naysayers and everyone seemed to be rooting against me and no one was rooting for me. And it's like I found myself at times looking in the mirror and saying, Tiffany, girl, you can do it. And I was like, oh, I don't really feel like I can do it. And then at times it was like, I remember looking in the mirror and I remember staring at the mirror and just saying, girl, I love you. And that was one of the toughest things to hear, because I had actually at that point in my life, I had heard someone tell me all the time that they didn't love me. And not only did they not love me, but they thought that I was just not lovable. And so me kind of coming to this place of being my own biggest cheerleader, it was tough. But I was so committed to loving myself and rooting myself on. That's what allowed me to wake up before other people and go to bed afterwards and do the things that didn't really feel good and do the things that made me uncomfortable. It's like, listen, listen, listen. Just take 2 seconds in each day. You spend it, gosh, I don't know how many minutes we have, right? But there's 24 hours in a day, and there's at least 3 hours where you're either driving or you're in the shower or you're just doing nonsense. Take 3 of those minutes, just 3, and take a moment to cheer yourself on. I don't care if you just close your eyes and you say, girl, keep going. Like, if that's all you do, then so be it. If that's all you can muster out, then so be it. Cheer yourself on, because you want to be on the winning team, right? Yeah, and who gets to decide who the winning team is? The players, right? Because they're the only ones who understand and know the game. The players in the game are the only ones who understand and know the game. So because they're the only ones that understand, that know the game, you literally owe it to yourself to cheer yourself on. And I don't care if literally you have to, for me, that's closing my eyes to myself and going like this. Breathing it in and out. Because you know what? The greatest cheerleaders are the ones that are on the sidelines and they see that it's like 27-7 and they're like, oh my gosh, we can't catch up. But then they get back out on the field and they give it all they've got and they root for their team, even though it looks like they're losing. Even though it looks like they won't make it. Even though it looks like they're going to go, okay? So even though right now it may look like you're not there, you won't get there, that you're losing in the game, continue to cheer yourself on so that you can be on the winning team, so that you can get your team to be the winning team. Got it? I hope so. I'm totally interested in you living your absolute best life so that you too can have a life that you absolutely love. All right, we're marching onwards to freedom. I love you. Bye.